Today we're going to talk about the powerful relationship between success and desire and how they feed each other in a way that makes progress and achievement keep going up. Think of a light that gets stronger every time you do well. You want to reach even higher goals, and each milestone or goal you reach gives you more fuel to do so. Success isn't just the end result, it's also a strong force that pushes you forward and makes you want to do even more. Come with me as we talk about the ways and ways of thinking that can help you use your successes to fuel your goals even more. We will talk about ways to set goals that are challenging but not impossible, celebrate your wins to keep going, and keep the drive that pushes you to keep getting better. You can make a cycle of constant growth and happiness by understanding how your wins feed your ambition. You are about to embark on a life-changing journey where you will learn how to use your past wins to not only reach your goals, but also keep your drive burning strong, leading you to even greater achievements. Your successes fuel your ambition. Your successes give you extra energy. Your successes pave the way for more successes. It's the snowball effect. When you achieve one success, you are excited to achieve another and another and another very soon. The disciplines that were so difficult at first, the disciplines that pushed you now become part of your philosophy and keep you active. It's easy to get up in the morning when you wake up eager to make progress toward your dreams. When you are enthusiastic about life, you will wake up long before the alarm clock rings. When you are doing everything you can do and succeed in meeting your expectations, keep doing it. Success is one of the best forms of motivation. Psychologists call this positive reinforcement. We all know about positive reinforcement. This is how we train our dogs. This is how we teach our children. This is how the trainers at SeaWorld can get a killer whale to do tricks, follow commands, and work side by side with humans. When you bring home a new puppy and try to teach it not to mess up the house, what do? You reward it for going outside or scratching at the door. When you try to get your child out of the diaper stage, what do? You reward them with special treats. You make them feel special for learning something new. When you try to get your older children to read books and study, what do? You reward them. When they get good grades, you show them that the skills they are developing now will have positive effects on their lives in the future. And you do this by rewarding them now. This is positive reinforcement, learning that there are rewards for doing something good, something worthwhile, something of value. The greater the value, the greater the reward. The better you do, the better your reward will be. A bigger salary, a better house, financial freedom, it's all a reward system. There are two main benefits of positive reinforcement. First, positive reinforcement generates good habits. If the habits you are practicing increase your success, keep doing them. Your success confirms that these habits are good. Your success tells you to keep doing what you are doing. By reviewing the habits that lead to success, you reinforce them. You give them staying power. By reviewing your habits, you may discover that some of them are inhibiting your success. You may find that what you do every day is bad for you, or you may realize that you have stopped practicing some very good habits. Someone might say, I just lost the habit of taking my daily walk around the block. Well, I guess you'll have to get used to getting sick later on. Someone might say, I used to read books all the time, but I just lost the habit. Then change it. Return to your disciplines. If you just lost the habit, simply reacquire it. It's called discipline. The second benefit of positive reinforcement is that it creates the energy to drive additional achievements. It gives you the momentum to do more, not only to keep doing the right things, but also to do more of the right things. Knowing that what you are doing is yielding results creates more energy to keep going. How easy is it to get up in the morning when you know you are not doing everything necessary? It's not easy at all. You can just lie there awake. Oh, what are a few more minutes in bed? It won't matter much anyway. Wrong. It does matter. It will matter. How easy is it to get up in the morning when you are eager to advance toward your dreams? It's a completely different story. When you rest to renew your reserves, it's very different from resting to avoid losing your day. When you are mentally prepared and excited about life, when you are excited about what you have planned to accomplish for the day, it's amazing how you wake up long before the alarm clock tries to wake you up abruptly. Your successes fuel your ambition. Your successes give you extra energy. Your successes pave the way for more successes. It's the snowball effect. When you achieve one success, you are excited to achieve another and another and another very soon. The disciplines that were so difficult at first, the disciplines that pushed you, now become part of your philosophy and keep you active. It's easy to get up in the morning when you wake up eager to make progress toward your dreams. When you are enthusiastic about life, You will wake up long before the alarm clock rings. How can you identify the habits that work for you and those that do not? How can you ensure you reinforce your positive disciplines if it's not evident? If what you are doing happens in such small increments that you are not sure you are on the right track, then you need to write it down. You need to keep a written record. You need to note everything that might be relevant each day, what you did, whom you saw, what you felt, how it may or may not affect you now and in the future. The best way to track your day's activities is to write them down. The best way to track your week's activities is to write them down. The best way to analyze your progress throughout the year is to write it down. Why? So you can look back at your notes. By keeping a written record of your life, you will be more accountable. By writing down the steps you've planned, you will easily see what works and what doesn't. There is something magical about identifying a problem. As soon as you start to write, you begin to discover ways to make it work. Maybe the magic is that when you write it down, you can now be objective. You can start to see objectively where you fit into the picture. You can begin to see if you are being responsible and self-sufficient, reflecting on all the relevant facts. You are trying to figure it all out. The fact that it is now on paper creates a space between you and the problem. And in this space you've created, new solutions have room to grow. You see, writing about events that occur helps you understand exactly what is happening. When you describe life only in your mind, your imagination tends to feed back false information about how things really are. You may be working with distorted information. If you keep the information only in your mind, your creativity can create scenarios that don't actually exist at all. But by writing it all down now, you can become more objective, more accurate, more realistic, and more logical. Then by rereading what you've written, you create new images in your mind. Once you see things as they are, instead of how you think they are, you can see how to improve them. It's all part of being accountable. It's all part of seeing things objectively to fully understand the steps you must take to improve things and better prepare for the opportunities ahead. We need all the motivational help we can get, but of course, different people are motivated by different things. I have read several studies on motivation, and the ones I found most compelling isolated 4 main factors as the most powerful human motivators. I'll review them one by one and urge you to listen carefully. Think about how you can use them to help you achieve your goals. If you hold a management or leadership position, also think about how you can use them to help motivate the people you supervise. These are the real factors that drive people to get things done. These are the things that work when simply wanting isn't enough. These are the real reasons for believing something is worth doing and then doing it. The first major motivator is peer recognition. When soldiers in wartime give their lives in combat, why do they do it? Is it for patriotism, for believing in the cause they are fighting for, or for fear of a court-martial if they do otherwise? Perhaps all those things influence them, but extensive research has shown that what really motivates a soldier to fight well in combat is the desire to earn the respect of the person fighting next to them. This is much more important than medals or other forms of public recognition, which in the confusion of wartime are often awarded to the wrong people. What motivates soldiers in combat is analogous to what motivates salespeople at a car dealership, students in a classroom, or a team of lawyers trying to win a case. I don't know if this is still done, but for many years, National Football League players used to select their own all-star team at the end of each season. I'm also sure that the honor of being selected by their peers meant much more than any kind of recognition from someone sitting in the stands with a hot dog in their mouth. Simply put, peer recognition is a truly powerful motivating force in any human activity. The second major motivator is recognition from respected experts or authorities. I can tell you that in my own life, this has been an extremely important factor. Mr. Schoff was someone I respected from the moment we met, and he was also someone whose respect I desperately wanted to earn. Has there ever been someone like that in your life? It's important to realize that a respected expert doesn't have to be a world-renowned person. You set the qualifications, though very often the people you find impressive will be equally impressive to others. Once you have met that person, or even if you've just seen them from afar, or maybe read an article about them in the newspaper, don't hesitate to politely introduce yourself unless you find them at a particularly inconvenient moment. Most successful people are eager to help others and pass on what they have learned. Sure, I was afraid to meet Mr. Schoff, but I shudder to think what my life would be like if I hadn't introduced myself. From a motivational standpoint, the best part about establishing a relationship with a mentor is that you eventually become so close to that person that you can almost hear them advising you even when they're not actually there. Earl Schoaf passed away years ago, but I still feel like he's talking to me every day. I also feel like I still want to earn his approval and respect. It will probably always be that way. Family is the third great motivator, and in many ways the most powerful. While the approval of peers and experts might be paramount in your career, in your overall life, nothing compares to the influence of your family. An experience I had several years ago serves as a good example of this principle. I had just finished giving a talk to a group of businessmen in Minneapolis when a young man approached me and asked for some advice on how to achieve financial success. As I always do when asked for such advice, I started with a couple of standard and straightforward questions. The first one, how much money would you like to earn annually? When I ask this question, I want to see if the person has thought enough about their goals to come up with a specific figure. That's a much better sign than someone who just wants to make a lot. But this guy was even more specific and focused than I could have expected. I need to earn at least $250,000 a year for the next 10 years, he said without hesitation. And why do you want to earn that amount now? I asked. This was another of my usual questions. Once again, he responded, Mr. Ron, he said, in 10 years, when my kids are old enough to enjoy it, I want to take my family on a trip around the world that they will remember for the rest of their lives. The trip will last a full 12 months without sparing any expense, and to save enough money to make it happen, we'll need an annual income of $250,000 over the next decade. There were literally tears in his eyes when he said this, and although I haven't heard from him since, I have no doubt he will achieve his goal. In my mind, I could picture him over the coming years working long hours, meeting deadlines, overcoming obstacles, doing whatever it takes to succeed, and doing it gladly. After all, he was motivated by something more than the simple desire for financial success and the material rewards that come with it. This man was working hard because he wanted to give his wife and children priceless lifelong memories. And if that's not a reason to believe, I don't know what is. A person who can feel that level of emotion for other human beings is truly blessed. A family that can have such a man as a father is also truly blessed. The fourth and final motivational factor I want to mention is closely related to the desire to do something for one's family. In fact, you might say it's the desire to help all of mankind. Let's call it the drive towards benevolence, towards sharing your wealth and wisdom with the world. I like the story of Andrew Carnegie, the Scottish immigrant who founded the United States Steel Company in the early 19th century. When Carnegie died, a yellowed piece of paper was found in his desk on which he had written a note when he was still in his 20s. This note stated the primary purpose of his life: I'm going to spend the first half of my life accumulating money, and I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away. Did this drive towards benevolence prove to be a strong motivator for success? Well, during his lifetime, Carnegie's fortune was estimated at $450 million, the equivalent of $4.05 billion today. And yes, he had the pleasure of giving it away. Besides building Carnegie Hall in New York City, he founded libraries in hundreds of small towns across the U.S. and was involved in dozens of other philanthropic activities. When we analyze these four major motivators, what do we really see? What I notice immediately is that they all involve other people, whether peers, mentors, family, or simply members of the human race. Isn't it ironic? To succeed, you need something very internal, very personal, and unique called motivation. And to acquire that most intimate quality and put it to work, you need to recognize in other people the reasons to believe. Remember that every success you reach is not just a goal, it's a step toward even greater success. Your drive is what drives you, and every success you have is like adding fuel to the fire, pushing you to even greater heights. You can use the strategies and ideas we've talked about today to make the most of this dynamic interaction. You can create a strong cycle of success, feeding ambition, and ambition driving success by setting high goals, celebrating your wins, and always wanting to do better. Thanks for taking part in this important event. Moving forward, use the ideas we've talked about to help you use your wins to drive your growth even more. Feel proud of every success and let them fuel your drive to reach your goals and create a future full of endless possibilities and amazing accomplishments. Until we meet again, know that the key to long-term success and growth is to be able to use your successes to fuel your goals. Don't give up, keep trying, and your drive and success will lead you to the amazing life you deserve.